Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So I am here again, Dr. Toledo, at your service, and I am very inspired to continue our discussion with the Philippine Professional Standards for School Heads, Domain 1, that is leading strategically. So before we already discussed about Domain 1, Strand 1, it's all about what? You're correct. It's all about the depth vision, mission, and core values. So we form the acronym the DCCS. Demonstrate, communicate, collaborate, and shared. Okay? So DCCS. Now we come with our strand number 2, domain 1, strand number 2. So what is strand number 2 of domain number 1? That is school planning and implementation. So as a school head, we are the one facilitating in the making of our school plan. What is that school plan? So that is the school improvement plan, or what we call the ESIP, the Annual Implementation Plan, or the AIP, with APP, or the Annual Procurement Plan. So those are the plans that we make or we made in school together with our stakeholders. So if you are a career stage 1 school head, you demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the phases of development and implementation of school plans aligned with institutional goals and policies. So you have the knowledge. Alam ko yan. Yung mga SIP na yan, yung mga AIP, yung mga APP, alam kong I have that knowledge. You are in a career stage 1 school head. Okay, what about in career stage 2, school head? So, you are now to develop and implement. So, you are now developing. You develop, you write now your SIP. You develop and implement with the planning team. Together with the planning team, you already develop and implement with the planning team the school plans aligned with institutional goals and policies. Okay? At in that stage, you are now in career stage number 2. What about career stage number 3? You engage the school community in the development and implementation of the school plans aligned with the institutional goals and policies. So, engage mo na ang mga school community in the development of your school plans as well as its implementation. Next, we have the fourth one is share. You share now with your fellow school heads the best practice in the development and the implementation of the school plan aligned with the institutional goals and policies. Okay? So what acronym we formed out of this strand 1.2? School planning and implementation, we have DDES, or what we call DDES. DDES. D, demonstrate and have demonstrate the knowledge. D is another develop and implement. So DDS, engage the school community, and letter S, share with fellow school heads. So DDS. DDICE pa yun, DDICE. Okay? School planning and implementation, strand number 2 of domain 1. Again, what is that strand number 2? School planning and implementation. The word acronym that we form is DDICE. Develop. DI is I demonstrate rather, demonstrate the knowledge. DDICE. DI is develop and implement. E is engage. And S is share with fellow school heads. Okay, let's now proceed to strand 1.3. Strand 1.3 is all about policy implementation and review. So we need to implement the policy and we need to review the policy. Okay, so for career stage one, we have demonstrate the knowledge and understanding of policy implementation and review to ensure that the school operations are consistent with the national and local laws, regulations, and issuances. Next, we have career stage two, undertake policy implementation and review in the school to ensure that operations are consistent with the national and local laws, regulations, and issuances. Okay, now we will proceed to career number three or career stage number three. So the same, engage stakeholders in improving the implementation of reviewed policy to ensure consistency of the school operations with national and local laws, regulations, and issuances. And the last one, career stage four, recommend to higher authorities the enhancement of policies relevant to school operations based on implementation and review. So that is strand 1.3 or strand 3 of domain number 1. That is policy implementation and review. What acronym is formed with this strand number 3 or policy implementation and review? Do air. The term is do air. DUER. Okay? So remember the first D CCS. Strand number 2 is D-dice. Strand number 3 is do air. Demonstrate, letter D for demonstrate knowledge about understanding of policy implementation and review. Ya U is undertake policy implementation and review. Ya E is engage stakeholders in improving the policy, the reviewed policy, and the R is recommend to higher authorities the enhancement of policies relevant to school operations based on the implementation and review. We are now in strand number 4 of domain 1. So we have research and innovation. So research is very important for us educators because research can solve our day-to-day problems, and also it can add up knowledge of the strategies used, the effective strategies, the effective management style, the characteristic traits of the leaders, the teachers, etc. So research are very important. Research and innovation are paired, or because if you have that research, you can, that's your innovation, you can innovate something. So when we speak about innovation, that is the new one, it's not the old one, but it is the new discovery. Okay, so for strand 1.4, research and innovation, we have career stage 1, identify. So I shouldn't demonstrate, but the identify relevant research findings from reliable sources in facilitating data-driven and evidence-based innovations to improve school performance. So you identify the relevant research findings. So you read the books, you read the researches of other educators and identify the relevant research findings from reliable sources. So it is very important that you get that information from a reliable sources. So that's career stage 1, identify relevant research findings. Now, we are now in career stage 2. What is a career stage 2? U. Utilize relevant research findings from reliable sources in facilitating data-driven and evidence-based innovation to improve the school performance. So always remember that we are having research, especially action research, to solve a problem and to improve school performance. Then we have career stage number 3. We have collaborate with school personnel. So you collaborate na with school personnel in the conduct of research and utilize the findings in facilitating data-driven and evidence-based innovation to improve school performance. And the fourth one, career stage 4, we have promote a culture of research. So, masyadong na-promote na yung culture ng research. Kumbaga, Lahat ng mga teachers mo ay nagre-research na. So you already promote the culture of research to facilitate data-driven and evidence-based innovations to improve school performance and foster continuous improvement. So we are continuously improve in our performance. So if the culture of research is already there in school, you improve your performance. The word or acronym that is formed from strand number 4 or research and innovation is I. Identify relevant research findings. You utilize the relevant research findings. C. Collaborate with school personnel. And promote, or letter P, culture of research. So we have IUCP. So IUCP. I identify, U utilize, C collaborate, P promote the culture of research. IUCP. So the first strand is vision, mission, and core values. The word nga na-form natin is DCCS. Demonstrate the knowledge, communicate, collaborate, and share, and serve as model. Next is strand number 2, that is school implementation, review. What's strand number 2 gani? Ng school planning and implementation. School planning and implementation, DDICE. Demonstrate, develop, and implement, engage, and share with fellow school heads, DDICE. Then the strand number 3, we have IUCPI, the doer, demonstrate, you undertake, engage, and recommend. Strand number 4, that is EUCP, identify, utilize, collaborate, and promote the culture of research. We are now in strand number 5, program design and implementation. So we have a lot of programs in school. So we need to design programs and we need to implement the program. So that is strand number 5, program design and implementation. Say, career stage 1, we have display understanding of the implementation of programs in the school to support the development of learners. So display. So you display understanding of the implementation of program in school to support the development of our learners. So we have a lot of programs in school. Next, we have the implement. Career stage 2, implement programs in the school that support the